You're watching 10 Minutes of Marketing, and today we're going to be talking about the relevance of print marketing and everyday direct mail in 2023. And today, our expert that we have telling us about this stuff is Sarah Perry from Third Angle Marketing. I've known her and worked with them for several years now. Give us a little intro about who you are and what you do.
I'm Sarah, and at Third Angle, we do a lot of different things from online marketing to offline marketing, like you'd mentioned. So we do a lot of print-based marketing and mail, which is, yes, still relevant in 23.
Awesome. Well, let's get right into the talking points. So you obviously do both. You've done a lot of digital. You manage a lot of websites.
Mhm.
You understand the importance of digital marketing. A lot of people would assume that everything's moving from digital or from print to digital, and print is getting outdated. Yet you guys continue pushing print. Tell me why print is still relevant and why it's still important.
The year that nobody likes to remember is the reason why print has come back, and it's 2020.
Yeah.
COVID is really kind of pushed print and mail back into relevancy. And it's basically because in 2020, we've got pushed digitally so hard that the one thing that people got to do was check their mail. So it made them excited about go and check their mail. Go figure. So ever since then, it's made mail much more relevant in the marketing scene. And the big play is we actually pair it with an online campaign. And that's the big kicker.
Actually, let's just go straight into that. How do you pair the two?
So the big thing is everybody's love to hate is QR codes. So on the printed materials, we put a QR code that goes to a specific landing page that we can track. And that way, when somebody gets the printed mail piece or just a brochure or anything like that, they scan that QR code and it goes to the landing page. And that way, they get all information. There's most likely some kind of form that captures that information. And then the whole sales process begins from there.
Awesome. So it's just another way to get somebody into that sales funnel. Right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Um, what can print do that digital marketing can't? Like, what type of consumer bases can it reach?
Yeah, so it really doesn't have a limit. The biggest thing that print has that digital doesn't is that like physical nature to it. We're still creatures of we're in a physical nature. We love touching things, and with print, we can really just look at things. I always think back to you see a business card, you can't help but think like, oh, this feels nice, you know. And for industries, it's really helpful in service industries. That is a big play for it, especially in products for like service papers and stuff.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. So, who should be looking to integrate print into their marketing process?
Because I'm in marketing, of course, I have to say everyone.
Yes.
um, but really, when it comes to print, specifically mail, in particular, I would say local market, like local companies in particular, because they work so well, especially for every door direct mail, which work off of carrier routes. So you don't need a mailing list, which is great.
Mhm.
And it can be a little bit more cost effective over getting a mailing list or working to get one. And that way, local businesses can really touch like local neighborhoods. So if you only work in a certain area, then you can touch that certain area.
Awesome. Yeah. And what's I know people might not understand the clear differentiator between EDDM or
Mm.
everyday direct mail and then having a mailing list. So tell me a little bit about the difference between those.
Yeah, so direct mail is going to be one that you actually have, Susie Joe and Jimmy John have, or, these two addresses, and you have a whole list of names and addresses. That is direct mailing. So you mail to those people on that list, and you can purchase a list by going to different databases, or you get them from your own customer list, which, of course, that's always the best. But you can use what's called mail carrier routes. So that is basically off of just, like I said, mail carrier. So if you in a neighborhood and this particular set of houses has 200 homes on this mail carrier route, you can hit all 200 homes. You can't per se, I don't want to hit 1, 2, 3 homes. You'd have to hit everybody. But the USPS website does have a tool on there. It's free
Nice.
that you can go through and really look at public information. So you can see this mail carrier route has an average income of $100,000,
Nice. Okay.
or that has an average age bracket of 65 and up. So you can get some public general information. And that's really worked out well for some of our clients who are looking for certain affluent neighborhoods or certain age groups and such.
Nice. Okay. What's the investment look like for either option?
So it's really going to depend, of course, on two factors: quantity and size of postcard. So, especially along with your, when you get into quantity, you're going to talk about postage. So if you've got, I would say, I would give it about, if you can dedicate $1,000, to really like invest into a mailing, that'll get you at least, a starting point, a good grasp. The biggest play that I like to say though is don't just do one mail drop. Set yourself up to do a series, because one drop there, you're going to put your postcard out there and then they're going to throw it away. It's just the life of a postcard. But if you set yourself up to do at least 3, and if you can do 6,
You spread that over the year,
yep,
3 a year, 6 a year.
just I would do it every 3 weeks, because if you can hit 500 people, the same 500 people 6 times over the matter of several, a month or several months, then they're going to remember who you are, versus just that one postcard every 4 months, once a quarter. And so when they need that due-dat widget or service, they remember you versus, competitor Joe.
What companies do you generally work most with on these types of campaigns?
A lot of service-based businesses. So home services very prevalently work with us. Lawn care services are great for this. One lawn care service does it for a very particular service, and we do it for certain times of the year, of course, during the summer months. And we also send them out during after kind of seasonal weather, which also is helpful. Other ones that we've seen some success have over it is car related services. So unfortunately, like a couple years back, we had all of that lovely hail come sweeping through Colorado Springs. We had a glass repair company come in and ask for a mailing and send one to a whole neighborhood right after the hail system. And that really got them a whole bunch of business. They had to hold off on the second part 2 of their mailing because they
Wow.
got so much
That's
business off
awesome.
of it. Yeah. So it has to do with who your audience is, what your offer is, and when you send that mailing.
What are some, I know direct mail is kind of just a subset of print. What are some other print things, marketing methods do you have for companies apart from like business cards? What things might people not think of?
Yeah, so some things that are just kind of customer delight things are going to be leave behinds. So, a great thing I always like to recommend for companies that go into someone's home is leave behind something. Like, let it be a presentation folder with some just general business information about you. If for like you're a maid service, leave behind that little tent card that says your home's been cleaned. Leave us a review. It ties into that online portion of leaving a review on Google. So it's those presentation folders, brochures. Yes, they're still relevant. It's basically anything that can bring delight to the customer. Notepads are a great thing. I know they seem kind of silly in a digital age like this, but we all write notes every day, and just having a notepad with your customer's name at the top and maybe just your little logo at the bottom, or just your name, your business name at the bottom, can be something that, oh, hey, yeah, Joe from such and such gave me this. It's so nice, you know.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we're almost at our 10 minutes. So I wanted to ask our last question is what can business owners do this week in 10 minutes that will help improve their marketing?
I would say go through what you're doing for your print right now. Look at your business cards and look at it a critical eye. Look at what you're doing, what they all look like. Are they all have they not been touched in a couple years? It's time to go look at them. Have you done mailing? Give it a chance. I know if you might have done it a couple years ago, it may be better this year. And if you have questions, ask. Ask other people that you might know that have done it.
Awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. Hope these 10 minutes have been super helpful to our viewers out there. These tips won't mean anything if you don't act. So take action. Try to make these changes in your business that will help you succeed. Until next time.